Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel guys. This is week number 5 in Algo trading. I have a lot of things to tell with you guys in this week, how I approached this journey and what are some things that I changed in my mind. Okay, so let's start with some of the topics that I cover this week. So this week I does not focus on the coding part, I focus on the foundation a lot. So let me tell you a bit about the project that I did in the week number 4, which is about genetic algorithm. So that project, the idea behind it is good, but I need to admit that it is quite hard for me to actually code it and debug it because the whole process it takes a lot of time to debug, you know. So I'm keen on with the machine learning approach, and if I really want to be an expert in machine learning, I need to understand the math and also some of the financial models and some of the time series models to actually using machine learning effectively. So in the beginning of the week, I focus on artificial AI coding workflow, and it blew my mind a lot of ideas, you know, because in the past you need to actually learn how to code, learn about the architectures and all the stuff, but now you can talk to AI, prompt to the AI, and it can make your plan, but you need to be explicitly with your plan so you can have a good output, right? So you can watch this video here from this guy. He talking about skills, how to use skills and a workflow when using AI in a new branch project. Okay, so and after that, I covered some of the lectures from MIT Open Course. This course is talking about the application uh, in mathematics with finance in general. You can say that it is mostly about quantitative finance. Okay, so in the first lecture, it teaches me about financial markets, financial terms, and the concept, which I already know. It's not that hard in general because it's just facts and memorization. Then it's talking about the bond mathematics, which is not that hard also. They talk about yield curve, bond yield curve, coupon, time to maturity, how to discount the bond price, how to price the bond. And the next lecture is in lecture number 2, which is I find kind of difficult. It's talking about linear algebra. So linear algebra is kind of hard for me because I am not an expert in mathematics, and I do not actually understand about linear algebra. So I need to watch a lot of videos about linear algebra to actually understand it. It mostly difficult in the notation part, right? So I got stuck here. I was stuck here because there are some models that I want to apply in my journey. Let me tell you about that. So some of the useful topics that I cover in this week is derivative and option. So I understand how a derivative is. So a derivative is a financial contract based on the underlying asset for the future price. An option, which is very complicated, we have a call option and a put option. And a call option is when you buy, you expect the price of an asset to increase. A put option is that you expect the price of a asset to decrease and you collect the money from it. But the thing that I find interesting about option is that you do not carry a lot of risk um, compared to futures, because that you just need to pay for the premium price and you have no other downside risk, which is I find very useful. And then I encountered some two models. So the first one is Kalman filter, which is very difficult in mathematics, and Markov chain model. Um, so I really want to understand it. I just understand it in a surface level, but in mathematics, this is very hard for me. So I need to break it down, take note by hand, and try to break down the math to actually understand it. but I understand some of linear algebra, such as anti-vectors and anti-values. So these are some of the notes that I write down, try to understand it. First is a note about risk neutral probability. So it's just basically how to price a derivative fairly, with so that there are no arbitrage in the market, right? Because it tells you about, like, if you price a derivative based on the expected payoff, right? Expected payoff, it's not that great because there's some sense of people can take advantage of combining those assets and arbitrage from it, So you need to find a way to price a derivative or price an asset that can that had no arbitrage, But it's just in account media, not in reality. So in reality, you can arbitrage very easily because there are a lot of like factors affect it equations. And yeah, I learned a bit about anti-values and anti-vectors. So these are linear algebra concepts, which is not that hard, So it's basically like you have a matrix and you're trying to find the anti-value. So the anti-value is just the scale of the anti-vector, and an anti-vector is just a vector that it's a non-zero vector, right? It's a non-zero vector that's unchanged by the linear transformation or by the matrix transformation. It's basically that, and I find a way to understand it. It's just not that hard, because this topic is commonly used in common filter. So I need to understand this topic first, and then I can understand the common filter. Okay. So that's it, guys. This is week number 5 in my journey. Even though I doesn't cover a lot of things because I spend a lot of times in mathematics and I spend a lot of time to reflect and to refine my approach in this journey. I hope that after this course I can learn a bit and apply in my system and trying to construct my own portfolio. Okay, bye.